before we get started, I do want to say that we are filming this at the same time as part 1, so enjoy the same outfits we are wearing in part 1. Hey guys, and welcome back to part 2 of the Informal Mystic office makeover. If you didn't check out part 1, be sure to go back to the last video and check it out. We talk all about how we did these cool chairs and how we made them, a full tutorial in the description, because I think they're pretty cool and it's a really cheap way to upcycle some fun chairs. But taking that kind of in the last video, welcome to part 2. And today we are going to be showing you the grand reveal and how everything came together for the Informal Mystic makeover. So I'm Lexi with Jasper Lain, and this is Blaire, my friend, my future cousin, and future wedding officiant, and she is the creator of Informal Mystic. So before we get started on the reveal, we are going to have her tell us a little bit about what Informal Mystic is. So.
Okay. Again, I kind of went over it in the first video, so go back and check out the longer description, but I do weddings, officiate weddings. I really like kind of like non-traditional services, LGBTQ friendly. I do eventually want to get into spirituality coaching, help people kind of get over some of their past trauma. Informal Mystic as a brand is a community for post-religious, spirituality seekers who don't really have like a home, like a church home or a community that they would consider as like a support. So yeah, if that's you, just check us out.
Let me just show you a little bit about what the room looked like before. It was very messy. Sorry, Blaire. It was very white and plain and just not very organized. And so let's look at what it looked like before.
I had to call in the professional, you guys. I'm not a good organizer, so this is why she's here.
Alright, so first up, we have to talk about these incredible shelves that my dad and I put together for Blaire's books. She is an avid book reader, book lover, and she actually sells books. That was what she did to fund Informal Mystic. So she's got a ton of books, so we wanted to do some kind of open shelf concept so she can see all of her books and get to them as they sell or read them if she desires, and just be a decor piece using items she already has. So we just kind of started with an empty wall, and my dad and I came one weekend and put together all these shelves. We have these, I think, roughly 10-foot boards, and we just put 5 of them, 1, 2, 3, 4, up, and then we put them together, found where we wanted them to align, and then we just styled them. It's pretty simple, self-explanatory. I try to organize them by like kids books, and then miscellaneous books, and then Bible, spiritual books, and textbooks. But that was just me. They probably are way out of order according to book lady.
I can see everything. Everything's so open now that I can literally see all of them. So before I had these like tiny little, there'll be like a before, I'm sure.
Oh yes.
So you all saw in the before these tiny little shelves that I had to like duck down in, and like they were just not great shelves just to be able to see your books. It was fine to stack things on, but as far as like accessibility goes, it just wasn't a great setup. But now I don't really have anything organized by genre or anything like that. We've got the very like the generalized, like the kids and the fiction, and then sort of like going over to the nonfiction. But I don't need really much of a system because I can see the titles on like literally everything. I can see the colors of the books. Nothing's really hidden. So it's a super useful decorative touch. Like it's
there
for decoration, but it's very, very practical and very useful. So
And as time goes on, as she sells books and becomes more involved in Informal Mystic, instead of book selling, she can replace the books with pictures and fancy things.
Fancy books.
Fancy books.
I really love.
And we both love to thrift, so many of her thrift finds are in this room, and so I'm sure they will accumulate in this on these shelves eventually. Also, we had this beautiful credenza we also found on Facebook Marketplace. We changed out the top, we added legs, and it's just closed storage for other things she wants to sell, other things she wants to keep hidden, and we decorated it, made it real fancy. She made this really cool ombre sign, and I think it really adds some color to the room, and especially on that wall over there. Next up, you saw these chairs in the first part, and next is this beautiful feature wall with a bunch of pictures of Blaire doing her officiating, and some thrifted baskets, and this very cool thrifted light that she has. We actually, fun fact, like somehow jimmied this door handle we found at the Goodwill and hung it on the wall so her light could hang. So I think this wall is really cute, and of course in the very top corner there's the Luna print of Jasper Lain, so self-promo if you want to buy a print. They're online. So let's talk a little bit about pricing. Now, you might think this is a very expensive project to take on, but really it wasn't that much. We thrifted almost all of this stuff, or we handmade a lot of the stuff. We handmade the shelves, we put together the sign, the Informal Mystic canvases. The chairs, I will say, were roughly like $100 in total for, they're about $40 each. Paint.
Yeah, the paint, and then
brushes,
there was like a brush,
but those are like
seal.
$1. So $100 for 2 statement chairs that probably run a lot more than $100. Let's be honest, $50 each.
Because I wanted a whole room and not just a couch. So
yeah, and we like to be inexpensive here at Jasper Lain, so we like to be thrifty when we can. We love thrift shopping. We love DIY. We love Pinterest. So just know that this is a thrifty room makeover. Like the credenza, we spent what was that?
So
$50?
We spent $35 on the actual credenza. I spent an extra $20 on the legs, and then the top. My husband got scrap at work, and we just put it together.
Our desk chair was $5 at the thrift store. All this feature wall was probably in total $15 or $20. The baskets, the light, the picture frames, the mirror, the accent yarn to go with her branding. She even made this beautiful candle that's sitting in front of us, and the base she found at the thrift store. You don't have to spend a lot to have a room look very good. You can use what you have. You can DIY. You can thrift. It's all accessible. You don't need to spend thousands on a room makeover to look good and to look what you want. Alright guys, so I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about a new Jasper Lain product. It is a new line, actually. It's the Wooded Lain line, and the very first product is this coffee table. So this coffee table was designed by my dad and I, and built by my dad and I out of reclaimed pallet wood. It is all embodying the Jasper Lain upcycle thrift kind of brand. And we have very many more designs and styles in the works for coffee tables and other items that are not yet to be disclosed. But I did want to introduce the very first item, and the very first physical item is going into the Informal Mystic office, so I wanted to include it in this video. So I just want to give a huge thank you to Blaire for letting us include the brand new Wooded Lain item in her office, being the very first one. A huge thank you to my dad for helping with this project, helping it come to life, and I really hope you guys enjoy it. Please let me know in the comments if you are excited about the Wooded Lain line. It goes all into the Jasper Lane home decor and home styling and room makeovers, just everything that I would like to share more about on this channel. So if you like it, it would really be helpful if you comment about it and let us know. But reclaim table wood, I think this is a great thing. So thank you so much, and I don't know what else to say. And now let's see what the room looks like all put together. Going like
You're
Michael
good.
Scott and being like, I don't know where to stop talking.
Just edit out the dumb shit.
Yeah.